Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. It's indeed a pleasure to see all of you today. And I know that you are going to be in for a tremendous treat. So, without further ado, let's not take up any more of your valuable time. Let me introduce you. So, welcome everyone to yet another episode of Now You Know. This is a series of moderated fireside chats presented every second Saturday of the month, and it's sponsored by none other than St. Rose's Alumni Association. Each episode showcases a pertinent lifestyle issue presented by a professional in finance, health and wellness, and more. Today, we have the honor of hearing from Carl Anthony Osborne. He is an experienced five-time healthcare IT innovator and entrepreneur with a passion for leveraging technology to serve real world problems. He is the creator of COLE. And let me just elaborate on that. C is as SEE, then COLE. It's an augmented reality app that assists clinicians in navigating electronic health records hands free while clinical data presents on glasses. With 16 years of experience as a consultant in the field of clinical informatics, Carl has been at the forefront of digital transformation. He is also the developer behind two AI-driven apps, Tamara AI, a text enhancement tool, and Google-backed Pathways AI, a career navigation and coaching system, along with two specialized GPTs, Anthony's Real Guide and Lucky Seed. A graduate of the University of Maryland, University College with a degree in health information systems. Carl is currently in his final year of obtaining his LPN at Delaware Technical Community College. He has applied his expertise in IT, project management, and mobile app development to launch multiple initiatives and is now exploring healthcare and IT ventures in Guyana under his new company, Osborne Resources Group, Ltd. Carl is also actively involved in community leadership, serving as the public relations officer at GUIDA, Guyana United Youth Development Association of New York. And he is dedicated to empowering others through technology and education. Today, we will hear about his talk, which offers an accessible introduction to AI, yes, artificial intelligence, breaking down what AI truly is and how it's transforming the workplace for better. The speaker, Carl, will also address common concerns, including job displacement, while showcasing how entrepreneurs are using AI to drive innovation and build new businesses. This session will also cover practical tips on recognizing deep fakes and AI-driven scams to help you stay informed and secure in our rapidly changing digital landscape. Whether you're curious, concerned, or excited about AI, this talk will definitely provide you with the valuable insights and resources tailored to the needs of today's connected world. So if you haven't grabbed your notepads as yet or your pens, please do so now as we welcome none other than Carl Osborne. Welcome, Carl.
Thank you, Andrea. That was awesome. I can hear that like 15 times today. That was awesome. All right. I'm gonna share my screen and then we'll just get started here. So before we really dive deep, I just wanted to get a feel for who's in the room. And in the chat, the Zoom chat that is, I had put out a link. If you don't mind just selecting that, just two questions, just to see your kind of background in relations to AI. We'll discuss it towards the end of the session, but just to get a feel for who's in the room. So, yeah, let's talk about AI, right? And so I'm delighted here today to talk about the topic that's fascinating and very relevant in today's times. Whether you're curious, cautious, or a little bit of both, today's session will help demystify AI, show how it's already making an impact, and most importantly, how we can all navigate this digital world safely and confidently. So let's dive in. So let's start about getting a clear understanding of what AI actually is, right? And so at its core, AI refers to machines or systems that mimic human intelligence. This could mean understanding speech or recognizing patterns or making decisions. AI can be found in everyday technologies that we're already using, right? So voice assistants like Siri, uh, on our smartphones, recommendations, right? If you use Netflix and it recommends movies, or even navigation tools, if you're using Waze or Google Maps, these are all embedded with artificial intelligence. I personally like to see AI as a tool. I think of it as a different type of calculator or a computer. Its overall goal is to help us basically help us with specific task, helping making our lives a little easier. For example, AI, if you use Gmail, it sorts your email. So most important messages are at the top and spam are filed in a specific folder. Overall, it's about enhancing our capabilities and not necessarily replacing us. So if we look at the evolution, right, of AI as a whole, it started off in 1966, around that time with chat boxes, right? And so a chat box, if you're familiar with that term or if you're not, it's a computer program. It's designed to simulate conversation, right, between human users, especially and computers, especially over the internet. Then it sort of transitioned, right, in the 2010s to more conversational agents. And these are AI software that can simulate, right, not so much as have the dialect, but it can simulate a conversation or a chat with any user in their natural language or phrases that they're accustomed to using. And the showstopper were a few years ago with generative AI, right? So ChatGPT, BART, all those things, they are more AI that can actually create content such as images, text, music, videos, and so on. So AI is also transforming how we work, right? And we hear this every day on the news, a lot of theories out there in relations to this. And it's not just for the younger generations, but in ways that affect everyone, right? Even those of us who are retired. Many of you might have seen changes in your own workspaces, how computers became indispensable now, how the internet opened up new possibilities during the dot-com boom. And today, AI is the next step in that journey, right? It's helping doctors diagnose diseases faster. It's aiding financial advisors in creating more personalized retirement plans, and even assisting customer service representatives in answering questions more efficiently. What's important to understand is that AI is not about taking away jobs, but rather improving the quality of work as a whole. For example, in healthcare, right? AI can quickly analyze medical images, allowing doctors more time to focus on patient care. In finance, AI detects fraud, as we see all time and time again when we swipe our card in a place where, typically we don't go, right? These are keeping our investments safer. These advancements just don't benefit those still working. They also improve services we all rely on, from better healthcare to more secure banking. And so if we look at the numbers here, 70% of Americans 65 and over will require some sort of long-term care. And so AI is improving early diagnosing, personalized care, and accessibility for long-term care services. 61% of financial institutions are using or planning to use AI for financial planning. So basically, these tools are helping retirees manage their finances more efficiently. And as I stated before, it's in pretty much every household. 82% of older adults use the internet and in many ways are using AI powered devices like smart devices. And so these devices basically offer greater independence and comfortability for retirees. So now, there's a common concern, and what does AI mean for jobs, right? It's a question worth discussing, especially as many of us have seen significant changes in the workforce over our lifetimes. The truth is, while some jobs may change, AI is also creating new opportunities. For those still in the workforce, that means learning new skills. But for retirees, it means enjoying the benefits of services improved by AI, whether it's more personalized customer service, better healthcare options, or even smart home devices. AI is here to enhance our lives. We should also be reminded that many tasks that AI have taken over are repetitive and mundane ones. In the example of the healthcare provider looking at the images, it frees up people to focus more on meaningful, creative, and engaging activities. The shift can be the shift can lead to more satisfying work experience for those still in the workforce. And if we look at the numbers on that, we can see that automation could replace 25% of US jobs by 2030. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics predict that 375 million workers worldwide would need to learn a new skill or switch an occupation. However, despite the risk, we see here that that AI will create approximately 97 million new jobs globally by next year. This last statistic that I researched is pretty interesting and segues the next talking point I would like to make. 65% of the kids in school today will work in jobs that don't even exist today. And so this leads into learning new skills and meeting with the times. And I would like to talk about prompt engineering, right? And prompt engineering is the process of designing inputs or outputs to guide generative AI models to produce specific outputs. So in a nutshell, it's basically training or having work directly with a machine learning tool to come out with some sort of solution or some sort of product. And as you can see, this new skill set is rapidly growing. By 2030, we see this jumping from at 32.3%. And so I would like to talk about a use case, a real world use case when we talk about prompt engineering. So my son, Anthony, last year, age 4, he's 5 now, he came down to my office and said, I want a toy train of any real train that I see on the internet or that he takes with his camera. And so I said, okay, let's build it. And so by using ChatGPT, Anthony created his first GBT, his first AI tool called Anthony's Rail Guide. What it does is that precisely what Anthony wanted, right? Anthony can upload a image of any train, or he can take a picture on his phone if he has ChatGPT open, and then the system would immediately give him updates about the train, and then ultimately his goal as to where to purchase the train. So let me do New York subway. And I'm gonna take an image of a subway here. Okay. So I'm gonna copy that image and I'm gonna put it right into Anthony's Rail Guide. And so an app like this, as you can see now, it's giving background facts about it. And then ultimately, you see here on Amazon where Anthony can go and purchase that actual train at the MTA museum shop or looking at it through Amazon. An app like this would have taken 2+ years, but it took Anthony and myself approximately 15 minutes from start to finish to create this application. Let's talk about how AI is not just for large companies, but for innovative kids like Anthony, how it's there for small businesses and how it's empowering individuals to innovate. This is something that can resonate with those of you who might be exploring new ventures or hobbies in your retirement or are currently looking for a career path or entrepreneurship. AI is helping people start new businesses with less effort and fewer resources. So imagine a tool that helps you write a book or generate art or even manage your finances more efficiently. These are all things AI can do today. For instance, one of my projects, Pathways AI, helps people navigate their careers, offering guidance much like a mentor would. Even in areas like health and wellness, AI is enabling new services that can help you stay healthy, active, and engaged. Whether it's personalized exercise routines or dietary plans, AI can offer support that's tailored to your needs. For those of you considering entrepreneurship in your retirement, AI can be a powerful ally, helping you bring your ideas to life with ease. So let's look at the first use case here, Pathways AI. And Pathways AI is a Google back, means that they have put up the money in a nutshell to help me to create this. But the thought process here was I wanted to have a solution to address changes in the workforce while tapping on your skills and all that you've worked for, all your experience to kind of dabble into entrepreneurship. And so how Pathways works is that you designate whether or not you're a student looking to see which courses you should take to set you in the right path, or whether or not you're a college graduate and which path should I take to start my career, or if you're a mid-level worker. And once you do that, you fill out a questionnaire. So it wants to know a little bit about you, your challenges in your career, your future aspirations, what are your skill sets, and what issues or roadblocks are you having in your career. And then using Google's AI called Gemini, it comes out with a very detailed career path. So it gives you your summary, tells you about your roles and responsibilities, and perhaps these are well, this is based on my questionnaire. These are the positions, if I were to transition, that I should be looking into. It tells me which new skill sets I should be aiming for. It tells me about strategies on how to advance my career. So networking strategies, gaining more exposure. What I like about this, though, it gives me a 5-year plan. And so from here, anyone, whether you're just starting your career or you're wanting to know how can you go up the chain, it gives you a starting point on how to advance. If you're looking for entrepreneurship, there's the business ideas section. And once again, based on your skill set and your passion, it generates instantly all these ideas to start a business. And if you wanted to dive deep, you just hit details, and then ultimately a business plan would get populated for you. And so these are really good examples of utilizing AI, right, to tackle problems. The last example that I'm going to show you, you don't have to create anything in ChatGPT or any AI tool. So in this example, I'm showing that I'm a type 2 diabetic with a Jamaican and Guyanese background, and I like to come up with a meal plan that would include based on my diagnosis. And by selecting or typing in that prompt, all right, within seconds, you're going to see now the system is going to give me a detailed plan. As you can see here, callaloo and boiled green bananas for breakfast, porridge with almond milk, and so on and so forth. So we can see the benefits of how AI can easily take any issue that is relevant to our daily lives and how it can populate solutions. So with all of that being really great, and that's awesome that it can do all of that, we have to be aware of the deep fakes and scams, right, with AI. And one of the risks we need to be aware of that's becoming more common is deep fakes. These are especially important for retirees, as retirees tend to be more targeted to online scams. A deepfake is a type of AI that uses that creates very realistic images, videos, or audio. These can be used for harmless fun, for chuckles and laughs, but also can be used for more malicious purposes, as we saw in the previous elections and what's going on now. And the end result is spreading misinformation and ultimately conducting fraud. So let's examine some deepfake examples. Okay, so I'm going to show you two examples here. And this link I'm going to upload to the toolkit that I'm going to provide everyone. But I'm going to single out two of them just for your viewership.
I'm not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real. Well, at least in contemporary terms, it is not. What if I were to tell you that I am not even a human being? Would you believe me? What is your perception of reality? Is it the ability to capture, process, and make sense of the information our senses receive? If you can see, hear, taste, or smell something, does that make it real? Or is it simply the ability to feel? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?
And we see the gentleman there, the bald-headed gentleman. He's the actual speaker. He's actually a what you call he does impressions, and so that was his voice. And with deepfake, they just applied his voice to an image of Morgan Freeman, and really just the gestures. The AI messes with the gestures and the lip movement. Another example I want to show of this is President Obama just speaking. And here you'll see who the true speaker is here.
At least not in a public address, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet. It's a time when we need to rely on trusted news sources. It may sound basic, but how we move forward in the age of information is going to be the difference between whether we survive or whether we become some kind of fucked up dystopia.
Right. And so that's a perfect example of Jordan Peele utilizing his voice. So he's the actual speaker. And then again, with AI, took a picture of President Obama, and it's just altering his gestures and his lips. And at this time, I have a special speaker, a friend of mine who he's a good guy, you know, gets a bad rap sometime, but he would like to have a special message for St. Rose's.
Hello, St. Rose's alumni. It's your main guy, Donald Trump. I want you to go to the polls and vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris. You heard me. Kamala did a fabulous job at the debate. Lastly, I want to tell you all that I love all the houses at St. Rose's. I really do, but Lima is my favorite house. Back to you, Carl.
All right. Well, thank you there, Mr. Trump. So I created that today. How did I do it? So one of the things we need to be aware of is your voice, right? It's the new fingerprint. It's what we call the biometric, right? And so what I did was I went on YouTube and took about 18-second clip of President Trump speaking at 60 minutes. And then I duped it, or looped it rather, for about 1 minute. So keep that in mind. All I needed was up to a minute of someone speaking. When someone is calling you and just confirming who you are and want to know, your bank account has been hacked and you're just talking and talking and talking, you don't know if you can be recorded. So I was able to record President Trump's voice. I ran it through an application called Speechify. And if you listen to the recording of when Mr. Trump was talking to St. Rose's, you'll notice that in the AI, it knew this was comical. At the end of it, he was, and then he said my name, right? So what this means is that AI now doesn't just churn out all the words that I'm typing in here. It understands it. It knows the gestures. It has a fluid way of speaking. And so with this system, I was just able to type in precisely what I wanted the voice to do. And then I generated audio. If I wanted to create a video like you saw with President Obama or with Morgan Freeman, I would have used an application called DID. And what that does is that I can upload a picture of President Trump. And then as you can see in this example with this woman here, you notice her mouth is moving, and then it's just very light gestures. Now imagine something like that you can say whatever you want, or you can make up any news, or if it's your likeliness and someone is doing that and putting it out there. And so that's where deepfakes are a huge issue. You'll be happy to know I did try to upload President Trump's image along with other celebrities. And now because deepfake has been a real issue, especially with celebrities, systems like this prevent people from uploading celebrities' likeliness. But you and I are not safe from it. Okay. So how to spot a deepfake, right? We talked about as realistic as President Trump's voice was, you heard a little bit of pixelation there, right? When you saw President Obama's face, you can tell it kind of looked off. Or Morgan Freeman, it looked like Morgan Freeman, but did he? You saw his eyes, you saw his skin. And so what you want to do is look out for inconsistencies. You want to verify the source of these audio or videos, or even sometimes the articles that we saw in the UK when they had the insurrection or the riots a few months ago. It was based off of a fake news article. And the most important way to kind of be vigilant or spot deep fakes is to stay informed. So in the chat, the Zoom chat, can you spot the deep fake in this video? Which one is the deep fake? And you can just put your recommendations, or you can just put whichever one you spot as a deep fake in the chat. All right. And if you all are saying the left, yes, you are correct. It is the left. The left is a deep fake. You can see the airbrushing from the video, which is an easy way to spot a deep fake. All right, very good. So at this time, thank you all for your attention. I hope that this session has shed some light on AI and what it is, how it's benefiting us, and how to stay safe in the digital age. But don't worry, I can answer any questions that you might have. And then after, I have a special treat for everyone. I compiled a bunch of resources that can help you continue to learn about AI. And also I have tools to upload videos, news articles, and that can spot whether it's fake or real. So Andrea, I'm open to answer any questions anyone has.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you so much. Now I will be looking to see what questions are in the chat, but meanwhile, can you tell us, in terms of those applications you use for the voice and also the images, are those applications available to everyone, and are they very costly, or is it something that is affordable?
So that's a really good question. What's very interesting about Speechify And then the other applications. Now, don't forget, the first step was I just recorded a voice. Okay, you can do that on your mobile device as long as that's the first step, right? So, clearly that's free. You can do it on your mobile device. Speechify, I did this today. It was free. So I had a trial version. And even with the trial version, you can see the impact that I can make with the trial version. But yes, certainly I know that if you wanted to utilize it, whether in your professional career, I'm pretty sure there's a package plan out there. But today I just used the free version. And yes, the photo, the DID, once again, it's a free version. As you can see, a free trial here. And if you want to use it more, then yes, there is a dollar amount for it. Pathway, and I just wanted to answer another question. I think Claire had a question about Pathways AI. So Pathways AI is currently being tested by myself and Google. It is coming out. The first phase is that we're looking for beta testers. So if you're interested, I do have in the toolkit, I left my email address. Please email me if you're interested in using Pathways AI and you can become a tester. By testing it, you can provide feedback and enhance the solutions. The use case or the where we're trying to put it in is more in schools with career counselors, with unemployment offices, and then for us, the day-to-day folks. So if you're interested, and it will be free, just sign up, email me, and then you'll have access. Another question here: can you discuss the application of AI in the classroom? And what would AI usage policy entail? Yes, so it's interesting. I have a sister who's a New York City public school teacher, and she and I go back and forth about it. As I said in the beginning, I see AI more as a calculator. We need to understand that in the very beginning, calculators, okay, were heavily demonstrated against in the classroom, believe it or not. There's actually video footage. If you look it up on the internet, you'll see it. I think that AI is the new calculator, and it takes thoughts. If you look at the use case of Anthony and what he wanted, right? It took his thought and it basically executed it in a more rapid sort of a manner versus having to get a project manager and a bunch of developers. He was able to just get what he wanted right then and there. I think in the classroom, I see teachers utilizing it for their lesson plans. I see teachers taking presentations and then the system comes up with more quizzes. I think that with AI, it can assist teachers in how to meet these kids in this TikTok world in a way where it's more engaging. So think of it, I like to think of it more of as a teacher assistant. A question here, do we know as of yet the accuracy of AI in healthcare diagnosis? And I'm glad you asked that question. And yes, the accuracy every day, this is being utilized. For those of you who know electronic health records, Epic is one vendor, Cerner, now known as Oracle Health, is another. They have incorporated a lot of these AI tools within the electronic health record to assist providers in how to diagnose quicker. But here's the shock factor. If you work in the hospital, you know these providers, especially these residents, they use Dr. Google, right? And so, these are folks who, if they're seeing an issue going on with you, they go onto their phone, maybe in the hall, probably outside the room, and they're looking at Dr. Google, right? And so with AI, with every computer system that it's built, especially in health IT, it needs to be clinically vetted. There is actually a AI tool that I utilize that is clinically vetted. They have a committee of providers around the country, and they look at common symptoms based on a diagnosis. And so that's how the machine is being trained. So I can't tell you the accuracy percentage as of yet, but I tell you, if it's utilized in our electronic health record system, it is fairly close.
Right. So, in terms of AI as a business owner, how can one utilize the AI AI to be able to build your business overall.
Right. So if you look at the application like pathways, right? And in the example that I presented, if you're a small business owner and you have these skill sets and you're thinking of ideas, you're just putting it out there. Notice that there's an ad idea, and you don't have to use pathways, any sort of chat GBT. There's things that I run by chat GBT. What the system does is ultimately what every business owner struggles with. We have a ton of ideas out there. It's just how do we execute it, right? How do we get from point A to point B? How do we take our ideas and put it to a business plan in hopes of getting a loan? And that's what these applications do. And so by utilizing AI, it speeds up the process, right? And with that, unfortunately, the other flip side of that coin is that maybe a career coach, and that's probably a job out there that's slowly but surely dwindling based upon these applications. I'll give you another real world use case as far as entrepreneurship. Taxes is something that I struggle with. It's something that it's a pain point for me, paying a lot of taxes. And so what I've done is I've uploaded a lot of my losses and profits over the years. I've taken some aspects of my taxes, and I have the AI suggesting ways on how I can utilize sort of tax breaks. So those are a few examples of how entrepreneurs can utilize AI to kind of boast or enhance their business. And a question here is, do you need to be techie to learn AI? No. All you need to do is come with an idea. Anthony doesn't know how to code or anything. All he wanted to do was just get a toy train. And all he had to do was simply type his idea into the AI, and step by step, they were able to generate his solution. So you don't need to be techie. Come with a really great idea, ask the right questions. Again, prompt engineering, ask the right questions on how to get to your goal. Someone says here, you are pretty tech savvy. How difficult would it be for a layer person to duplicate a system like the one that you built with your son? No, I mean, if anyone has, let's say, if another young man wants, who lives in New York City specifically, wants something specific to just subways, then they can duplicate it. And I don't know based on the time here, but I can quickly demonstrate how, very high level, not taking up too much people's time, how we created Anthony's rail guide. The first thing that we did here was that we went to exploring the GPTs. Now, for this, keep in mind, you have to pay for this version. The model that I'm using is 4.0, which is the highest model, meaning that the different models can do more complex things, right? So for something like this, I think I pay only like, what, $9 a month, something like that. But once you have this, then you can go to create on the upper right-hand side. Once you do that, it's in a conversation mode, right? So you don't need to know any sort of coding here. What would you like to make? So let's say in the example that I utilize, I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I have difficulty finding a meal plan for me based on my diagnosis. So then I would start off by saying, I would like to create a GBT that for type 2 diabetics that come from different cultural backgrounds and who want a meal plan developed. All right. So very simple, straightforward request, right? And so I'm going to plug that in here. And then notice now it's updating, is going to create that GBT where I can play around with it on the right-hand side. Okay. So now look what it does. What should we call this? And it's saying, hey, should we call this diabetic meal mentor? Okay, well, let's run with that. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. And notice I don't have to speak in a specific tone or manner. I can talk the way that I talk. All right. And so now it's creating it. Let's say if I need a logo for it, can you create the logo? Oh, great. Okay, so it must have heard me. All right. So here's the logo. Okay, great. Yeah, that's awesome. But let's see. But that's awesome. But let's add Guyanese colors. And so within seconds now, it's going to take that request and now it's going to generate a new logo for me. And then now, as you can see here, yep, let's use that. Yep, that works. Okay. And then now on the right-hand side, I can start to utilize it. So that's a very high level way that you can just by thought and by conversation that you can talk to a machine and within seconds or minutes, you can come up with an application that would have taken about 2 years to develop. Another question here is, what technical knowledge do I need to know to become involved with AI? So in the toolkit that I'm going to display, so let me do that now. In this toolkit, there is free education on prompt engineering and AI basics through Corsica that you can take. These courses offer a really great introduction into AI. A lot of the prompt engineering, as I was demonstrating, has it. But in the toolkit also, it's protecting yourself from AI scams. So what tools are there for you to do that? And in fact, I can show you a little bit of what I have added in those toolkits. Okay, to be more specific. So let's go docs. All right. So in the toolkit, if you scan the QR code, or I'll put it in the chat, the link to the chat, again, it's a direct link to that Corsica AI 101, also elements of AI. You can look up also prompt engineering. A lot of universities offer this through Corsica that you can take, only I think about $59 to take that course. Then it's protecting yourself. So I have the Fraud Watch Network link for you all, the FTC link here, and then the FBI's Internet Crime Compliance Center link. The third part is learning deepfakes. So through MIT, there's a way that they have a course on how to spot deepfakes, and they give a really plethora of different examples out there on how to spot deepfakes. There's also a tool that you can utilize where if you're not quite sure of an article or if you see a video, all you need to do is just copy and paste that link and it will verify the information for you. And then also if you're, curious about AI for daily life, so a link to Google Assistant. Someone had asked about diagnosis, and WebMD now has a diagnosis symptom checker, and I have the link for that here. And then also an AI-powered finance tool. And then the last thing I had mentioned was staying up to date. And so here are links for Wired magazine and their AI section, and The Verge, which are all IT magazines there. So I'm going to put the link for that in the chat for those folks who couldn't scan. And yeah. Any
Thank
other?
you. Thank you so much, Carl. We are going to unmute for just one or two more questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free. We're going to unmute now to ask Carl while he placed the link in the chat. This is a beautiful presentation and definitely a great opportunity to learn more about AI. I know a lot of us, we are afraid of it because many
There we go. We're back. All right. And then in the beginning, I believe I had asked everyone to complete a survey here. I don't know if anyone had the chance to do this. Yes, 7 people have. And I asked about, it was about what's your anxiety in relation to AI? And then so the question is that everyone is somewhat familiar or not that much familiar with AI. And yeah, the highest thing here, the majority of the folks who answered the survey, security risk, and then privacy concerns come in second.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, thank you all for your time. Thank you, St. Rose's alumni, for allowing me to speak on this topic and to share your platform. And thank you all.